What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon Kitchen. I graduated from UNT this past May with a master's in higher education and student affairs, and I'm the graduate assistant for the Emerald Eagle Scholars Program, which is located in the First Generation Success Center over in the Union. I sought UNT for their higher education program. In undergrad, was really involved on campus, and I originally planned to be a journalist. I wanted to be a full-time reporter and multimedia journalist, but as I kind of got a little bit older in undergrad, I just recognized that I had a different purpose. Being able to give back to the younger students, even sometimes the high school students. I would travel all across the DFW Metroplex, and I was like, there's a reason I'm doing this, and so I decided to look for higher education programs, and UNT happened to be the right place for me. So now that I've graduated, it's been a good and quick 2 years. My plans are still validated that this is the right industry for me. So at this point in time, just looking for a full-time role, whether that's going to be here or somewhere else. But just looking forward to serving students and being a positive role model in any way that I can. Well, I'll tell you one thing, college is probably the safest time you'll ever have in your life to make mistakes and to mess up. So don't be afraid to um, try new things. Don't be afraid to push yourself. If you feel that uncomfortable feeling in your mind or your stomach, like when it comes to like learning or just putting yourself out there, it's probably a good thing. You know, I always say you can't really grow unless you become uncomfortable or be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's really what I live by. And I encourage all my students and my friends, you know, to try something new every day that scares you. If you're looking for the internship or that job that you don't think you're qualified for, just apply for it. I mean, of course, prepare your steps, get your resumes right, your cover letters right, you seek your references who you know will be able to help leverage, but always place yourself in opportunities that will continue to level you up, even if the opportunity doesn't lead to um, you know this grandiose end goal. You still get the lessons out of it. You still get the experience. So you're never walking away from an opportunity empty-handed. So yeah, UNT's higher ed program has three different versions. There's the standard program, the online program, and the cohort program. When I applied, I chose the cohort program. And so it's kind of a package deal between obviously the graduate degree and the Division of Student Affairs. And so people in the cohort get two graduate assistantships. I spent my first year at UNT in the undergraduate admissions office as an admissions counselor and recruiter, as well as their on-campus team, and it was so much fun. And then my second year, I had to pick a different position, and that's where Emerald Eagle Scholars Program picked me up. And so there, I've been able to, serve over 1,000 students who we give tuition assistance to, and just to kind of be hopefully a role model to them, to guide them through school. I know COVID made things a lot more difficult, which made me feel more passionate and blessed to have the opportunity that I did. Whether it's coordinating programs for leadership or community service, or the first year transition into college, or it's advising an organization or our student workers. There's a bunch of other things that I do, but that's just kind of the nature of my role, and I've loved it. So thankful to be at UNT and have worked in student affairs. Not too long ago, as I was job searching, there was a question I was asked about how I would rally and support students from marginalized communities regarding social issues. And I'm a big person on DEI, diversity, inclusion, equity, but you know, when you think about all of the myriad of issues that happen in society at any given day and time, like perspectives change. And so my answer kind of was, well, as a staff member, I may not be able to be out in the marches with the students. I may not be able to carry that sign with the students. I may not be able to go demand change explicitly, just like knocking on a door or standing in a room and taking over that space. But you can come to me um, in my office. You can give me a call or that email, and we can sort things out from there. We can kind of pick each other's brains and teach each other. Right? It's not just a one-way street. The students are just as knowledgeable, if not more knowledgeable, than me as a staff member. I'm just the one who gets to work here and help you, um, develop. So, and of course, it all depends on where you work and what state, what school, what type of school is it, what the student makeup is. So there's a lot of variables. So that was a very difficult question to talk through, but hopefully I answered that correctly for them. And even if I ask the question again, then really the universal answer is it all depends. Oh, Career Center's been great for me. I mean, I've personally connected with representatives of the Career Center in the past, um, you know, for help for my students rather. I've sent them to you all for, interview prep, resume checks, cover letter stuff like resources. I've hosted events with the Career Center jointly between the GA and other people. And then of course me when I was in my, you know, final year that just culminated. I came for help and support for making sure I was in good standings rather with my resume, my cover letters, et cetera, as I was getting ready to apply for jobs. So, lots of things that I've learned about professionalism, about looking the part and transitioning out of college. So, thanks to UNT Career Center for helping me out and what you do for a lot of the other students here on campus.